Super K Teens. My name is Teacher Edwell.
Good morning, Super K Teens. I am Teacher Joanna, one of your learning buddies in this episode. Together, we will take you to another fun and learning journey here at Super K Telescuela.
For this special episode, all you need to do is sit and watch as we gradually unfold the activities which you will surely enjoy while learning at the same time. Right, Teacher Joanna?
You are definitely correct, Teacher Edwell. In this episode, you will be able to learn a couple of things like infer which chromosomes determine the sex, determine the genotype and phenotype of common sex-linked disorders, sex-limited traits, and sex-influenced traits.
You should also be able to determine and give examples of phenotype and genotype of common sex-limited traits, and perform a cross related to sex-influenced traits using a Punnett square. Let's go, teens! It's time to start your learning adventures! Only here at Super K Telescuela. As you perform each learning activities, get hold of your modules, paper, and pen. Are you now ready to accomplish your first learning task? If so, listen well as we flash on the screens the activities you need to answer. Answer the following activities using your notebooks or answer sheets. Write the word true on the blank if the statement is correct, and false if it is incorrect. Number 1. Sex chromosomes are involved in determining the sex of a child. True or false? Number 2. Males have 2 X chromosomes. True or false? Number 3. Females have 1 X chromosome and 1 Y chromosome. True or false? Number 4. The males determine the sex of their children. True or false? Number 5. The total number in each cell of an individual is 48. True or false? Number 6. The ability to discriminate between the colors red and green is controlled by the gene located in the Y chromosome. True or false? Number 7. Most of the sex-linked disorders are associated with the Y chromosome. True or false? Number 8. Color blindness is more common in males than in females. True or false? Number 9. Baldness is a sex-linked trait. True or false? Number 10. Males have only 1 X chromosome. Thus, if they inherit the affected X chromosome, they will have the disorder. True or false? Time is up, teens! Let's now check your answers. For number 1, the answer is true. Number 2, false. Number 3, false. Number 4 is true. Number 5 is false. Number 6, false. Number 7, false. Number 8 is true. Number 9 is false. And number 10 is true. Good job, teens! You got them right. You will surely learn more about our topic if you stay tuned here at Super K Telescuela. Did you know that males have 44 body chromosomes and 2 sex chromosomes, the X and Y? The males determine the sex of their children. On the other hand, females have 44 chromosomes and 2 sex chromosomes, both of which are X. The total number of chromosomes in each of an individual is 46. These chromosomes contain the genes, which are factors of heredity. If an egg is fertilized by a sperm with a Y chromosome, the offspring becomes a male. When the egg is fertilized by a sperm carrying the X chromosome, the offspring will become a female. Note that there is a 50% chance of having a male or a female offspring. The greater the number of offspring, the greater is the chance of getting the expected 1:1 female-male ratio. Sex-linked traits are genetic characteristics determined by genes located on the sex chromosomes. As mentioned, humans have 2 forms of sex chromosomes, the X and Y chromosome. Hemophilia and color blindness are examples of common sex-linked disorder that are X-linked recessive traits. These traits are carried on the X chromosomes with no alleles on the Y chromosomes. It is important to note that sex-linked traits are inherited through the X chromosome. Males only have 1 X chromosome, thus, if they inherit the affected X chromosome, they will have the disorder. Females, on the other hand, have 2 X chromosomes. Therefore, they can inherit or carry the trait without being affected if it reacts in a recessive manner. Sex-limited traits are generally autosomal, which means that they are not found on the X and Y chromosomes. The genes for these traits behave exactly the same way that any autosomal genes behaves. These genes produce characteristics that are expressed in only one of the sexes. In cattle, for instance, lactation is expressed in females, but never in males. Both male and female cattle, however, possesses a gene pair for lactation. These genes are carried by both males and female, but it's only expressed in females. Have you noticed that in female cattle, if at least one gene pair is for lactation, the female produces milk? In male cattle, it does not matter if they possesses 1 or 2 genes for lactation. They never produce milk.
We also have the sex influence traits, which are also autosomal. The same with sex-limited traits. It means that their genes are not carried on to the sex chromosomes. What makes these traits unusual is the way they are expressed phenotypically. In this case, the difference is in the ways the genders express the genes. Unlike in sex-limited traits, where the traits are expressed exclusively in one sex. One example of a sex-influence trait is baldness. The gene is not in the X chromosome, but its expression of dominance is affected by the sex of the individual involved. it acts differently in males than in females. This means that one baldness gene is enough to make a man bald. The genotype for males will therefore be homozygous dominant B or heterozygous B. A woman must have two baldness genes to make her bald. The genotype will be homozygous dominant B. Another example of sex-influenced trait is hemophilia. It is a result of poor blood coagulation. Persons with hemophilia frequently experience excessive bleeding even at the slightest injuries. Males are most likely to acquire this disorder than females. This is because males have only one X chromosome, and so the defective gene is more likely to manifest. Females, on the other hand, have two X chromosomes, and so the chance of acquiring two defective copies of the gene is very rare. A female may be a carrier of hemophilia if she inherits only one abnormal gene, either from her father or from her father. That is, either her father is hemophilia or her mother is hemophilia carrier. Are you able to distinguish the different colors on this image? If so, congratulations! You are not colorblind. Color blindness is another example of sex-influenced traits. This is a person's inability to distinguish a certain color from the other. One of the genes for color blindness is located in the X chromosome. Because of this, males have a higher tendency of acquiring the trait than females. Though females may be carriers, they are not normally affected because color blindness and hemophilia are both X-linked traits. Remember, sex-linked traits are genetic characteristics determined by genes located in sex chromosomes. As mentioned, humans have two forms of sex chromosomes, the X and the Y chromosomes. Hemophilia and color blindness are examples of common sex-linked disorders which are X-linked recessive traits. These traits are carried on the X chromosomes with no alleles on the Y chromosomes. If the allele is dominant, both male and the female are readily affected and traits are expressed. However, if the allele is recessive, the female becomes carrier, as both of her X chromosomes must carry the alleles to be affected, while the males are readily affected due to the single X chromosome they have.
Solve the following problem. Write your answers in your notebook or answer sheets. Color blindness is a recessive sex-linked disorder in humans. A colorblind man has a child with a woman who is a carrier of the disorder. Here are the key traits for this disorder. Illustrate your answer using a Punnett square. What is the probability of having children who will have normal vision? And what is the probability of having children who will have color blindness? Now here are the guide questions for this activity. Number 1. What is the genotype for the males? Number 2. What is the genotype for the females? Number 3. What is the percentage of having a colorblind child? Number 4. What is the percentage that a daughter will be colorblind? And number 5. What is the percentage that a son will be colorblind. Here are the answers for activity number 2. Did you get them all correctly? Good job!
Complete this table. Write your answers in your notebook or answer sheet. One example of a sex-limited characteristic is the lactation in cattle. The gene for lactation is represented by an uppercase L, is dominant over a non-lactating gene, which is represented by a lowercase l. These genes are carried by both males and females, but it is only expressed in females. Now, identify the phenotype of both male and female based from this statement. Here is a trivia question for you to think of. Do all organisms have sex chromosomes? When we return, we will reveal the answer to our trivia question. So, stay tuned after a short break.
Batang Kapampangan Super Gang. Batang Kapampangan Super Gang.
Welcome back, Super K teens! Here is the answer to our trivia question. Not all organisms have sex chromosomes. Organisms such as wasps, bees and ants do not have sex chromosomes. Sex is therefore determined by fertilization. If an egg becomes fertilized, it will develop into a male. Unfertilized eggs develop into a female. This type of asexual reproduction is called parthenogenesis. Let's check if we got the answers correctly. Number 1, the answer is female lactating. Number 2, male not lactating. Number 3, female lactating. Number 4, male not lactating. Number 5, female lactating. And number 6, male not lactating.
Sex-linked disorder occur mostly in males than in females. This is due to females having 2 X chromosomes. They are protected by an extra X chromosome that may contain a dominant normal gene. Thus, instead of expressing the defective trait, females tend to be carriers of the gene, especially if their fathers has expressed such traits. Here are the key concepts that you should remember. Sex-linked traits are inherited through the X chromosomes. Males have only 1 X chromosome. If they inherit the affected X chromosome, they will have the disorder. Females have 2 X chromosomes. Therefore, they can inherit or carry the trait without being affected if it acts in a recessive manner. However, there are some traits that are expressed exclusively in one sex, and these are what we call sex-limited traits.
In addition, sex-limited traits are generally autosomal, which means that they are not found on X or Y chromosomes. The genes for these traits behave exactly the same way that any autosomal genes behave. These genes produce characteristics that are expressed in only one of the sexes. They are often confused with sex-linked genes, but they are entirely different in their mode of inheritance. Sex-limited genes may be located in any of the chromosomes, while the sex-linked genes are located only in the X or Y chromosome. Do you remember the example that we had in cattles? Lactation is expressed in females but never in males. Both male and female cattle, however, possess a gene pair for lactation. These genes are carried by both male and females, but it is only expressed in females. Have you noticed that in female cattle, if at least one gene pair is for lactation, the female produces milk? In male cattle, it doesn't matter if they have the gene or not. They never produce milk. I think you really listened and watched attentively in our discussion. You're doing a great job.
You really did well in this episode.
Did you enjoy our session today? We do hope that you learned a lot from our learning adventures.
This is Teacher Ediwell.
And this is Teacher Joanna.
Please tune in again next time
Same time, same station
for another learning journey only here at Super K Telescuela. Till then, see you next time.